Now, normally when we talk about the greatest players of all time, we're bringing up names such as Darnell Richmond, Tyrone Richmond, Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, but today we have two new legends. We have Joey NHL, a 99 overall playmaker. He's 5'5", 170 pounds, but we also have his twin brother here, Joe NHL, a 99 overall power forward. Both of these guys are perfect in every aspect of the game, but Joe NHL, he's 6'9", 275 pounds. These two twin brothers are about to take over the NHL and lead the Swift Current Sharks to multiple Stanley Cups. There's one problem right now. This team is full of 0 overall players. Outside of our two superstars here, this team has absolutely nothing. But over the next 10 years, I'm going to rebuild the Swift Current Sharks around these two twin brothers right here, and we're going to turn this team right here into a dynasty. But the first thing we have to do, sign a ton of free agents. We need a lot of help on this team, so yeah, let's not mess around. Let's pick up the best players available. Now, I'm not going to be too picky here whatsoever. As long as you're willing to join this team, I'm willing to bring you here. Marco Scandella is going to be the first player brought in. He's going to be an absolute game changer for us. Sammy Blais, 900k. You're probably going to end up playing first line minutes. Outside of our two GOATs right now, this team is going to be very, very bad. Yeah, so you remember how I said we were going to bring a bunch of free agents to the team? I take that back. We actually don't have any roster spots. So yeah, besides about 3 free agent signings, this team's actually just going to be full of 0 overall players. You know what? We'll make it work. Now, at face value, this might seem like a really stupid trade, but you got to hear me out here. Brendan Gallagher, I can probably turn you into like an 87 overall player because I'm going to have you play on my top line alongside Joe and Joey. I'm not expecting you to do too much, but if you're playing with 299 overalls, I bet I can get your trade value up a little bit. So yeah, since we can't make free agent signings, I'm going to make a couple trades like that. Now, we're going to make one more move here, and this is a big time trade. A 6th round pick and Eric Cartman sent over to the Colorado Avalanche. We're bringing in Scott Wedgwood to be our starting goaltender. Unfortunately, a 6th round pick isn't enough here, so I'll throw in a 7th as well. These 2 picks are going to definitely be enough for Scott Wedgwood here. Honestly, I think we might be getting fleeced, but Wedgwood could be a good backup in the future. But for this season, he's our number 1. So just look at this spectacular team right here. Joe and Joey on the top line alongside Brendan Gallagher, Sammy Blais, and a bunch of 0 overall players. When it comes to the defense, we got Mark Giordano, we have Marco Scandella, and then a bunch of 0 overall players. And then when it comes to goaltending, Scott Wedgwood and Ricky Lafleur are going to hold it down for me. I think we're looking at 5 wins this season, and if we win any more than 5 games, I'll be incredibly surprised. But while we go watch this absolute dumpster fire of a season in year number 1, if you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 86k by the end of the month, so hit the button down below right now, and while you're at it, you might as well drop a like. Now, due to all the 0 overall players on the Sharks right now, we're going to be the worst team in the entire league, a 3-16-2 record, but I just want to point out our offense, 94 goals so far. Our 299 overalls have been absolutely locked in so far. Like, Joe NHL has 62 goals in 65 games, 24 assists for 86 points. Outside of his brother in Joey NHL, he has nothing here. Joey NHL has 75 assists in 65 games. Brendan Gallagher really hasn't been that bad. 13 goals, 39 assists for 52 points. I think his trade value is actually going to be up quite a bit heading into next season, and we might be able to get something for him. But for now, this is the team that we're going to be rocking. Scott Wedgwood, 3 wins, a 909 to 491. Considering you have nothing in front of you, these are actually pretty solid numbers. So we're not going to do anything here. We're not going to make any ridiculous trades, but I can guarantee you this is the only season we don't make the playoffs. Like, we have 3 wins right now, and realistically, we only have 3 NHL players. So once we're able to build a competent team with a decent enough bottom 6 and decent defensive pairings, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop us. Now, I don't think it's much of a surprise to finish out the season. The Swift Current Sharks, a 4-76-2 record. This team was absolutely terrible. However, there was a couple players on our team that weren't terrible. One of them being Joe NHL, because he's going to be a goal per game here. 82 goals in 82 games. Joey NHL, 97 assists, 12 goals. He's picking up 109 points. Meanwhile, Brendan Gallagher, 16 goals, 54 assists, 70 points. He's still an 83 overall. I'm expecting his trade value should be going up a little bit. Like, he just had a 70-point season. There's no way he doesn't progress a little bit. Scott Wedgwood, 4 wins. He had a 906 and a 508. But this is where the true rebuild begins, because we're about to jump into the draft lottery, and we're going to drop from 1 to 3. We all know it's going to happen. I'm prepared to drop from 1 to 3 here. If we don't, I'll be surprised. Wow, the Swift Current Sharks dropping from 1 to 3. Who would have expected that? At this point, I'm fully convinced there's an 85% chance of getting the 3rd overall pick. Anything other than the 3rd overall pick's just not going to happen. Now, I haven't even looked at the draft class here, but I can't wait to watch the 1st overall pick be a franchise potential player. We all know it's going to happen, but I guess not. Ekman Larson's going to be going 1st overall, medium league potential. He's an 82 overall, so I guess we're not going to see a franchise potential player going 1st. An 81 overall defenseman is going to be going 2nd, so when it comes to the 3rd overall pick, who are we going to be looking at here? Potentially Radulov, and Radulov would actually be a really good pickup for us, because he's a left winger that could play on the top line alongside Joe and Joey. This might just be the simplest decision here. He has similar style to Joe Thornton. He's NHL ready. I think this is our guy. Then again, Kuznetsov wouldn't be a bad selection either, because we could just move Joe NHL over to the left wing because that is his secondary position. He doesn't really have any weaknesses. Just look at those stats. A in shooting, A in puck skills, A- in senses, A- in skating, A- in physical, A in defense. Bro is already a superstar, and he has similar style to Vladimir Tarasenko. Yeah, we're going with Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov, welcome to the team. You're the man we're going with. Starting off as a 78 overall. I don't care what your overall is. You're playing first line minutes for me. Kuznetsov, welcome to the team. A similar style to Vladimir Tarasenko. That was an absolute no-brainer. And then to start off the second round, we're going with Johnson. Medium top 4 potential as a defenseman. I've drafted him a couple times. Very rarely does he ever develop for me. So yeah, hopefully things change today and he actually does develop. But just wait a minute. One of our best draft picks is going to be coming in the third round. A low elite potential player starting off as a 65 overall. If we give this guy a couple seasons to develop, he could be jumping into the lineup sooner than later. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, there's one thing you know about stick on the ice videos. We're always going to get medium elite potential goaltenders, and that's what we're getting in the 5th round with the 133rd overall pick. It can only make sense I'm picking up medium elite potential goaltenders. I always do somehow. Now, of course, when it comes to the re-sign phase, we're not doing anything, but boy did I cook here, because let's take a quick look at Brendan Gallagher, who is now an 87 overall. We're going to trade him now. We're going to trade Brendan Gallagher and get a decent amount for him. Now, I just want to remind you guys, we got Brendan Gallagher for basically absolutely nothing. Like, we really didn't give up too much in order to get this guy on the team. Now we're going to trade him along with the 7th round pick and get Joel Eriksson to play second line minutes for us. They're going to be saying no to a 7th round pick, but what if I give you a 3rd rounder instead? Brendan Gallagher and a 3rd round pick for Joel Eriksson. We definitely fleeced there. Like, we trade a draft pick that had absolutely no value, turned it into Brendan Gallagher, and then we turned Brendan Gallagher into Joel Eriksson, who's going to play second line minutes for me. That's how you cook up some trades. So we have basically infinite money to work with. Like, right now we have $75 million. So let's go spend all that money and let's do it recklessly. So John Tavares, here's $8.1 million for next season. Do you fit the timeline? Absolutely not, but I'm going to give you that bag anyway. Okay, I might have got ahead of myself when I said we're going to spend our money recklessly here, because now that I'm actually looking at who's available, I don't really want to sign any of these guys. Like, the only player I'm somewhat interested in is Sam Bennett, but he wants a no movement as well, and I'm not doing a no movement with Sam Bennett. So yeah, he's likely not coming to the team. Brad Marchand, I'm probably not going to bring you in. Yeah, we might just be bringing in a lot of bottom 6 players and then just hoping that they can overachieve. In saying that, Zutterland, can we please do a 4-year deal with you? I'll give you $3.5 million for the next 4 years. I'll even give you a modified no trade clause. Like, how does this work for you? In the final 2 seasons, a 12-team no trade, $3.5 million for the next 4 years. I think you can play first line minutes for me. I know we brought in that rookie and he was going to play first line minutes, but plans have changed. Now, when it comes to basically every other free agent signing, I'm probably not going to point all of them out because a lot of them aren't going to be that notable. I will point out this very notable signing though. Trent Frederick, welcome back to the team once again. 3 years at $2.3 million. This stick on the ice legend always has to be on my team, and you better accept my deal. If Trent Frederick goes elsewhere, I'm going to be absolutely heartbroken. Also, another stick on the ice legend that's always on my team, Nick Perbix. Here's 2.7 for the next 3. So now you've seen all those notable signings, I'll go ahead and sign the rest of our team. Now, there are a couple more notable signings, one of them being Ivan Provorov. This is going to be 5.5 for the next 4 seasons. I feel like I can turn him into a top pairing defenseman for us. And then Ryan Lindgren, I think I can turn you into a really good second pairing defenseman for me. Ivan Provorov, you are officially the ops. Why are you not signing with the team? Trent Frederick's at least signing though, so that's a good sign. But yeah, Provorov, you're the ops now. I hope you see no success in Edmonton. Okay, I have a plan here. I have no clue if it's going to work out, but I want to try it because I haven't done it so far in NHL 25. I have to trade for my 3rd round pick back. Now, the reason I went and got that 3rd round pick back is we're going to try to pick up this defenseman in free agency, Luke Hughes. Now, in order to offer him the contract I was looking at, I need to make sure I had my 3rd round pick. So I'm going to do $6 million for the next 5 years. I think that's actually pretty fair. We're actually going to do a 6x6 with him. We have all the right draft picks, a 1st rounder, a 2nd rounder, and a 3rd rounder. I'm going to offer sheet him, and I guess we're going to see if New Jersey's going to match that. I feel like they will because they have the cap space, but stupider things have happened. Now, New Jersey, are you going to accept the offer sheet? Are you going to be keeping them around? They're not going to be matching that 6x6, so we're getting Luke Hughes for a 1st rounder, a 2nd rounder, and a 3rd rounder. I think we fleeced because Luke Hughes is going to be a great defenseman. He's on an amazing contract. He's going to play top pairing minutes for me. we're going to be a really good team this season, so that first round pick's not going to have any value. We basically just trade the 25th overall pick, the 50th pick, and the 75th overall pick for Luke Hughes. Yeah, I think we came out ahead in that deal. Now at face value, we might be questioning this team a little bit, but we have to remember we have Joe NHL and we have Joey NHL, and as long as we have these two guys with a decent enough supporting cast, we're going to be able to be a top 5 team. We traded our first round pick away, so we can't afford to be bad this season. Luke Hughes and Perbix going to be the top pairing. Hakanpää and Ryan Lindgren are going to be the second pairing. Romanoff and Cale Fleury are going to hold down the third pairing. And then when it comes to goaltending, we might not have a superstar yet, but we have two of the greatest of all time here in Joe and Joey, and as long as we have them, we don't need good defense, we don't need good goaltending, we don't even need a good bottom 6. We just need guys that are going to play their role. Like, I think we could have 75 overalls when it comes to our entire defense and our entire bottom 6, but as long as Joe and Joey are here, we're going to be competing for a Stanley Cup. So now that we have some decent pieces alongside Joe and Joey, we're first in the entire league, a 49-16-1 record at the trade deadline. We're scoring 4.56 goals per game, so you already know Joe and Joey are putting up some elite numbers. So far, Joe NHL has 122 points, 79 goals, and 43 assists. Joey's already got 107 assists for 116 points this season. He's only scored 9 goals, but he's not here to take shots. John Tavares, 79 points. Sutherland, what an incredible pickup that was, 74 points. And Luke Hughes, 66 points in 66 games, an 88 overall defenseman. That offer sheet might have been one of the best moves I've ever made, because this guy's absolutely locked in. Meanwhile, when it comes to our rookie, how's he doing? Kuznetsov, 11 goals and 10 assists for 21 points. Considering you're playing 4th line minutes, that's not too bad. You're also up to an 83 overall. Do I give you an opportunity on the first line now? Because you're an 83 overall, I think you could potentially play some first line minutes for me. Sutherland, what overall are you? You're up to an 85. So maybe he stays on the first line and we just move Kuznetsov up to the second line. When it comes to goaltending, Jake Allen, I don't care if your numbers don't look that great. And Scott Wedgwood, I don't care if your numbers don't look elite either, because we are scoring goals here. Eventually, we do have to improve the defense and get a better goaltender, but right now we are going to ride or die with our offense because we're scoring a ton of goals. With that being said, I wouldn't be against making a trade here. Depending on what's out there, we might try to make a move or two. Now, I think we're going to make 2 trades here. The first one's going to be Romanoff and Kiviranta sent over to Utah. We're going to bring in Michael Kesselring. He's going to be a second pairing defenseman for us, potentially even a first pairing defenseman. I don't really know where Nick Perbix is going to fit on this team in the future. I'll give up a second round pick as well, and that should be enough to get this deal done. So Kesselring, welcome to the team. Now, over the next 2 years, we're basically going to be doing no drafting whatsoever. Cale Fleury and his second round pick is going to be sent over to the Ducks. We're bringing Jackson LeColeman. He's going to be a good third pairing defenseman for us, because that's how good our defense is going to be. Jackson LeCombe is going to end up playing third pairing minutes for me. Before we get ahead of ourselves, Kesselring and Jackson LeCombe both need extensions, so hopefully we can sign some good deals with them. So we'll start with Michael Kesselring. He's not really interested in an extension, and I can tell because he wants 6.1 for the next 3 years. How about we do 5.5 for the next 3? 5.5 seems pretty fair for you, so Kesselring, you're going to be sticking around with the team. And then Jackson LeCombe, how much are you going to be looking for? You're going to be looking for 3.8. Considering how much money we have, we can make this work. Here's 3.6 for the next 2. And then when it comes to Jamie Benn and Johnny T, honestly, both of you guys are probably going to end up walking here. Then again, John Tavares is playing pretty good this season, so I guess I could bring him back on a 1-year deal. So here's 9.5 million on a 1-year deal. I guess it doesn't hurt to keep you around. So things are already looking amazing in year number 2. We're first in the entire league, a 59-20-3 record. And when it comes to Joe and Joey, they were pretty good this season. Joe didn't do anything notable though. He only had 100 goals and 54 assists for 154 points. Meanwhile, Joey, he picked up 130 assists, so nothing crazy here. Johnny T, 96 points. Sutherland's picking up 85. When it comes to our man Kuznetsov, I give him some second line minutes, and 15 goals and 17 assists for 32 points in your rookie year. That's really not too bad considering you were playing bottom 6 minutes for the first half of the year, and then I moved you up in the lineup. When it comes to our goaltending, Jake Allen had pretty decent numbers, 39 wins, 1 shutout, an 891 to 317 is not that good, but Scott Wedgwood, a 913 to 268, I'll definitely take that as the backup. We're currently the best team in the NHL, taking on the Winnipeg Jets in the first round. Let's try to win a Stanley Cup early in this video. Now, normally in my first postseason appearance, I don't see a lot of success, and it looks like that trend's going to continue here. We dropped the first 2 games, but luckily we're going to be winning back-to-back after that. Could we make it 3 straight wins, or are we going to be facing elimination? We're facing elimination. Just want to remind y'all, we're the best team in the entire league, and we're taking on a wildcard team right now, but we might still lose in the first round. You really can't make stuff like that up. Like, we have 2 of the GOATs on our team. Gabe Villari's picking up the first goal of the game. Jamie Benn's going to respond the second period. Where's Joe NHL? Where's Joey NHL? I need these guys to step up for me. And Joe NHL, I'm going to assume you're scoring a goal here, but Johnny T's really the one showing up for us. So we've won game number 6, but the job isn't done yet. We still have to win game 7. So it all comes down to this. Game 7. Can we win game 7 and move on to the second round? I'm not even talking about winning a Stanley Cup here. I'm just talking about moving on to the second round, and I'm not too sure if that's going to be happening unless unless we have a crazy third period, we're really going to be falling in round number 1 here. No, that's crazy. We got to rebuild the defense here. We have to give our goaltenders a bit more support. No, but seriously, like first in the entire league with 59 wins, and we lose in the first round in 7 games. That's crazy work right there. So the New York Rangers are going to be our Stanley Cup champs. They're taking down the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games, but we really folded like that. Joe and Joey, I'm assuming both of you guys did absolutely nothing, but that's not really the case here. Joe NHL, 7 goals in 7 games, 4 assists for 11 points. Joey was kind of mid here, only 6 assists. Joel Eriksson, 5 points. Zarlin's picking up 5 points. I'm assuming he's up to at least an 87 overall. Make that an 88 overall. Kuznetsov, what overall are you going to be up to? You're still an 83. Yeah, I think we all know what we have to do here. We're fixing up the defense. We're getting ourselves a superstar goaltender. These guys just need a bit more support. Then again, Jake Allen, you had an 870 and a 345. You didn't really help yourself here. I don't really care if you didn't have the greatest defense in front of you. You still have to post better numbers than that. Now, I feel like it goes without saying, but since we traded basically all of our draft picks away, we didn't have any valuable picks heading into this draft. Therefore, we didn't get any valuable prospects. Now, when it comes to the re-sign phase, we're doing absolutely nothing here. Jamie Benn's going to walk, and Scott Wedgwood, you're going to walk as well. Jake Allen's going to be the backup next season because we're going to trade for a new starting goaltender. Now, Holmstrom is going to make things very interesting here because he's kind of dropped into a bottom 6 role, and I don't want to give him $5.4 million to play on our bottom 6, so I think we're going to trade him away. He's up to an 86 overall. We should be able to get some decent assets for him. Then when it comes to Mason Appleton, Brazo, Foxa, we might be able to get something for you guys as well. I don't think we're going to be bringing too many players back to the team here, so we're likely going to make a handful of trades. Okay, now this is actually a really interesting trade because we would have our goaltender for the future. It'd be Jesper Wallstedt. He's only getting paid $2.2 million right now, and he's an 89 overall. They're looking to trade him because he's the backup behind Philip Gustafsson. I will 1000% do this trade. I will give you as many picks as you want. We're going to get this deal done. Like, this is the greatest trade of all time. Here's a 4th round pick. That's not going to make the difference, but the lucrative 7th round pick is going to get this deal done. We're going to walk away with Jesper Wallstedt from the Minnesota Wild. We fleeced them. Like, plain and simple, that's an absolute fleece. Now we just have to re-sign him. Now, when it comes to re-signing him, I'm a little bit concerned, barring how much he's going to be looking for here. Okay, $1 million. Like, we could do 2 years at $1.1 million. Then you're going to want an absolute bag in the future, but I think we can make that work. So yeah, Jesper Wallstedt, here's $1.1 million. We have you locked down for the next 3 years. You're an 89 overall, and I'm paying you basically nothing. So now that we know that, how about we just go sign a big time free agent? Like, we have more than enough money to work with here. Who's going to be available? Rasmus Anderson, I am very interested in that. I don't want to do a no movement with Rasmus Anderson though, so how about I take that away? I'll give you $8.5 million and then maybe a modified no trade. Or I give you a no movement alongside a modified no trade. I'll give you that at 50% team protection. Hopefully that's going to be enough to convince you to join the team, and it looks like it will be. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Luke Hughes, you're going to be our number 1 defenseman, then Rasmus Anderson is going to play at your side. Then we're going to have Michael Kesselring and Perbix on the second pairing. I don't really know where Ryan Lindgren's going to fit in here, so maybe I trade him away. We free up $4.9 million, then I could bring in a really cheap defenseman. But if I package Ryan Lindgren up with Mason Appleton, can we get Logan Stankoven? Like, Logan Stankoven's only looking for about $5.8 million. That would definitely fit on our team. I'll throw in a couple picks and we'll try to get this one done. Like, here's a 3rd and 4th rounder. I don't think that's going to be enough for Logan Stankoven. Okay, yes it is. Logan Stankoven, welcome to the team. I'm going to sign you immediately because you're only looking for about $5 million. Alright, so we're going to absolutely fleece with Logan Stankoven here. He's currently looking for $5.8 million for the next 4 years. If we do a 5-year deal, then he's only looking for $4.9 million. So we'll do 5.5 for the next 5 years. He's going to be a really cheap player for our second line, and he's going to be incredibly good. That's an amazing deal for us. After this season, Johnny T is going to be walking, and then Logan Stankoven is going to step in on the second line. And then when it comes to bringing in a cheap player here, JJ Moser is going to be that guy. We'll do 2.8 for the next 2 years, and he'll play some third pairing minutes for me. Now, Joey, I'm expecting a lot more from you guys this season. Last season, we were disappointed in the first round. That won't happen again. We have a better team surrounding you guys. When it comes to the defense, that's in a way better spot. Luke Hughes is up to a 93 overall. That's turning out to be one of the greatest qualifying offers of all time. Like, bro's gonna be a superstar for us. And then when it comes to our goaltender, I still haven't figured out how he pulled that trade off, let alone the signing, because the signing makes even less sense. 1.1 for the next 2 after this one. He's getting paid 2.2 right now. We have Jesper Wallstedt locked down for the next 3 years at one of the cheapest prices imaginable. It shouldn't be possible. This team's gonna be looking at 65 wins this season. There's really nothing that should stop us. Now, only one thing could have happened if I have my face cam on at the trade deadline. That means this team is a complete complete and utter failure. A 34-27-2 record. How on earth is this possible? We're currently 5th in our division. We're not a top 10 team. We might not even be a top 15 team. I don't know what's going on with us right now. The Swift Current Sharks, 16th in the entire league. This shouldn't be possible with the amount of talent we have here. Like, I'm sorry, but Joe NHL has 69 goals and 19 assists for 88 points so far. Joey NHL has 6 goals and 70 assists for 76 points. Everyone else has just been complete and utter frauds this season. Everyone's been terrible outside of our top players, outside of our 2 GOATs. Everyone on this team is just terrible. They all suck, and I know how to fix this. Jesper Wallstedt, a 30-18-2 record, 2 shouts, a 900 save percentage, and a 302 goals against. I know how to fix this, and I don't fix this through making any trades. We change up our coaching staff. So here's what we're going to do. We're firing our head coach here. Our associate coach is now going to be our head coach. Now, why am I doing this? Well, this guy was our head coach last season, but I decided to go with a different head coach after we lost in the first round. I wasn't sure if this guy was going to be good enough for us. Considering how this season's going, Gordo is 1000% our guy. He led us to an incredible record last season. Yes, we lost in the first round, but that's beside the point. At least we had a good record during the regular season. As of right now, there's a chance that we don't even make the postseason, and we can't let that happen. Yeah, this season was just an absolute joke. I don't know what else to say. The Swift Current Sharks, 11th in the entire league. Yeah, we're just going to ignore all of this. Hold on, wait a second. There's one thing I can't ignore with this team. What was our offense? I'm sorry, but what are we talking about here? 3.28 goals per game. We're not even a top 10 offensive team. This game is broken. I'm sorry. I have 299 overalls here that are perfect in every aspect of the game. One is a pure goal scorer, Joe NHL, 89 goals in 82 games. The other is a pure playmaker, Joey NHL, 92 assists in 82 games. And we're not a top 10 offense because everyone else on this team is just complete and utter frauds. I don't know what to say. The defense was better after the trade deadline. We're taking on the Dallas Stars first. This could be a very rough postseason. This also very well could be a very easy postseason for us, and I could definitely see us going 16-0 because that is the only logical thing that could happen here. I could also see us getting swept in the first round, but that's not going to be happening. We're winning game number 2, game number 3, and game number 4, so we'll close this out in game number 5 and move on to the second round. We're already off to a better start than last season. Just kidding, we're about to blow a 3-1 series lead, aren't we? I've seen this before. Yep, we're not even going to jump into game 7. We're just going to simulate game 7 and see what happens. I'm fully expecting us to lose, but we're going to win. So we're moving on to the second round. We have the Colorado Avalanche up next. If we could barely get past Dallas, I don't see how we're going to get past Colorado here, but we've won back-to-back games. We have a 3-1 series lead, but that's going to all come crashing down right here. We're losing back-to-back games. I can see it all happening. I have seen this enough so far in NHL 25, where a team has a 3-1 series lead, but it means absolutely nothing. We didn't jump into game 7 last time and we won, so we're not going to jump into game 7 here. We're just going to simulate it and pray for the best. We blew a 3-1 series lead. I got nothing to say about that. Now, I think this just makes it a little bit worse, but the team we blew a 3-1 series lead to is the Stanley Cup champion. Ain't no way that just happened. But on top of blowing a 3-1 series lead to the Colorado Avalanche, we almost blew a 3-1 series lead in the first round as well. This team doesn't know how to close it out. Joe NHL, 16 goals, 7 assists for 23 points. Joey, I need you to support a little bit more. I know you're a pure playmaker, but I need you to score a goal from time to time here. Sutherland, 8 goals in 14 games. You were pretty solid. Johnny T wasn't bad, but this team just couldn't find a way to perform when it mattered most. I don't know what it is, but Logan Stankoven, how did you only have 1 point in 14 games? I understand I have you playing third line minutes here, and you should be playing top 6, but still, 1 goal in 14 games. What were you even doing out there? Jesper Wallstedt, 7 wins, 1 shot, a 919, a 250. I can't complain about these numbers. Like, if you're posting a borderline 920, you definitely held up your end of the bargain. The bottom 6 is really what let us down, because how on earth did Logan Stankoven only have 1 goal in 14 games? Like, bro was out there doing cardio 90% of the time. Now, I'm about to enter conspiracy mode here, but Nikitin, I feel like I've had you on a couple of my teams in the past. I know you're an auto-generated player, but I feel like whenever I see the name Nikitin, it's always a good player. I might be completely wrong, but I feel like every time I get an auto-generated player with this last name right here, they always turn out to be a good player. Like, we're getting a 77 overall in the first round with the 23rd overall pick. I might just be completely yapping, but I just feel like every time I get a player with the last name Nikitin, they always turn out to be a stud for me. Now, I just realized something. It took until until this moment right here for me to realize I never gave Joe or Joey an extension. So both of them right now are looking to be paid. Luckily, we have more than enough money. We have $45 million in cap space. This is going to be very easy. We're going to start with Joey. He's looking for $16.5 million. You are definitely one of the best players on this team. I'll do 15.5 for the next 6 seasons. So Joey's going to be sticking around, and then when it comes to Joe, we're going to be locking him down for the next 8 years, but he's going to be signing a better deal. Like with our man Joe NHL here, $15 million for the next 8 years. So we're going to be locking down our 2 superstars, but it's going to come at a price here. Like both of them are going to be signing some very expensive deals, but you know what? We had lots of cap space, so we can get it done. When it comes to extensions, I don't think we're really going to do anything. Johnny T, you're going to be walking here, and Logan Stankovic is going to jump into the top 6. When it comes to a lot of these guys on the bottom 6, they didn't perform for me, so I don't want to bring any of them back. I will sign these rookies though. We got to bring them to the team. Now, if we're not going to waste any money re-signing players, we might as well use that money when it comes to extensions. Kuznetsov, I'm going to be locking you down for a decent term here. I'm looking at $4 million, and I think 6.9 for the next 4 is enough to get this done. So welcome back to the team. Trent Frederick, you're likely going to be walking. JJ Moser, Nick Perbix, you're going to be walking as well. I mean, Perbix, maybe I can keep you on the team. How much money do you want? 5.1 million is a little bit much, so maybe I won't do that. JJ Moser, how about you? You want 5.1 for the next 6 seasons? Hear me out. This kind of makes sense. So I locked JJ Moser down for 4.6 million. We move him up to the second pairing, and he sticks around for the rest of the video. 4.6 million for a second pairing defenseman is definitely not bad. So JJ Moser, you're moving up in the lineup. You have a bigger role this season. Now we got to bring in a couple players for the bottom 6, and who are these players going to be? Chris Kreider, I don't want to do 2 years, so we're not going to bring you to the team. Tyler Seguin, I don't really want to bring you in. Nick Wall, I think we can get a deal done with you. 2.7 for the next 3 years. You can play some good third, fourth line minutes for me. Nemestikov, you're 34 years old, but you're looking for a cheap contract, so maybe we can do that. But Sonny Milano's also looking for a cheap contract here. I think we're going to go with Sonny Milano instead. 2.1 for 1 season. Okay, this one's an absolute no-brainer. Jake Neighbors, I have no clue why the St. Louis Blues didn't re-sign you. 2.5 for the next 2 years. Yeah, I definitely want to bring Jake Neighbors in. Even Luce Derain would be a really good pickup for the bottom 6 here. At this price tag, it's definitely worth it. $2 million for the next 2. He's getting a modified no trade, but I don't even care about that. Now we got to bring in one more guy, and that's going to be Blake Lizotte. 1.7 million for the next 2 years. Welcome to the bottom 6. Also, I completely forgot about this, but Jake Allen, I didn't bring you back to the team, so Hugo, I need you to be the backup here. So after the moves we made over the offseason, I think the team's in a better spot. Kuznetsov's up to an 89 overall. Zutterland's an 88. Joel Eriksson's an 89. Logan Stankovic's an 86. The top 6 is looking great, so is the bottom 6. When it comes to our defense, yeah, this first pairing is absolutely elite. A 92 overall and a 93 overall. And then they got a bunch of great supporting pieces around them. Jackson Lacombe, I actually might consider bringing you back since you're an 85 overall. And when it comes to goaltending, what are we doing here? We all know Jesper Wallsted's the starter here. Hugo, unfortunately, you're just not that guy. Unless the game was trying to tell me something, maybe Hugo is that guy. Maybe we should rely on him. Maybe Hugo should be the number 1 here, and Jesper Wallsted should be the backup. Alright, I'm talking a bit crazy. We all know Wallsted's the number 1. Alright, so we're not messing around this season. A 46-13-5 record at the trade deadline. The offense is amazing, and the defense is amazing, so we've solved all of our problems here. Joe NHL, you're going to lead the way. 82 goals in 64 games. Yeah, safe to say you're the greatest of all time. 118 points so far. And then Joey, I can't sleep on you. You have 83 assists in 64 games, so that's going to give you 92 points. Kuznetsov has 20 goals and 51 helpers for 71 points. Luke Hughes is doing his thing. The second line's not looking too bad. They're not looking great by any means, but you know what? They're playing their role here, and that's all I'm asking for. When it comes to Jesper Wallsted's numbers, 39 wins, 2 shouts, a 904 and a 262. Keep up these numbers, and we're going to be the Stanley Cup champs. Now, I guess the real question is, do we make any trades here? And I'm thinking about making one. I think we need to add a bit more scoring to our second line. And Joel Eriksson, I'm going to be honest, I think you're the guy I'm going to trade away. Like, your trade value is really high here, and I don't really think we need you anymore. Like, we have Zutterland on the second line. He's our two-way forward. We need to bring in a power forward or a playmaker or something. So Joel Eriksson, I'm sorry to say, but we're going to have to trade you away here. You've been a great player for us, but times are changing. So I think this is what we're going to do with Joel Eriksson. We're going to get a little bit younger by bringing Matt Savoy to the team. He's going to be our second line playmaker and 87 overall. We're also going to bring in Jermaine Pika, 80 overall, medium top 4 potential. He could be a good defenseman for us. And we're also going to bring in a young prospect in Tripp. I don't really know if we're going to be able to get him in this deal. I don't think so. So likely we're only going to begin Matt Savoy and Pika, but I'm perfectly fine with that as long as we can walk away with both of those players. And that's exactly what's happening. Now that we've got through the trade deadline, I'm going to hand out one extension to Trent Frederick, 2.5 for the next 3 years. I think that's going to be a really good deal for an 84 overall. When it comes to everyone else, they're just all asking for too much money here. Jackson Lacombe wants $6 million. Perbix, how much are you looking for? You want 5.6. I can't give that to you, especially if you're going to be playing third pairing minutes for me. me. So the Swift Current Sharks are going to finish off the season being the best team in the entire league, a 58-19-5 record. But I think we have to work on our entire team outside the first line and first defensive pairing, because Joey NHL picked up 97 goals this season, 142 points. And the reason for that, Joe NHL had 97 goals and 45 helpers for 142 points. Joey NHL, he had 98 assists for 110 points. Kuznetsov was great, 88 points. Luke Hughes was great, 73 points. And then Rasmus Anderson, he was fantastic, 62 points and plus 44. Now let's look at the plus minuses for basically everyone else. The numbers aren't great here. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not great. Like, we have 3 guys that have a negative plus minus. That shouldn't even be possible with how good of a team we have. I guess the plus minuses are actually really good. Like JJ Moser plus 32, Nick Waugh plus 25, Kesselring plus 23. You know what? I take those comments back. The team's in a great spot. Goaltending is looking amazing, but can we win a Stanley Cup when it matters most? That's what we're about to find out. We're taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Connor Bedard's in front of us, and he's not going to stop us. Like, realistically, there's no way that this Chicago Blackhawks team is going to be able to take us down. We are in 2028. The Chicago Blackhawks aren't going to be an elite team. Why have we lost the first 2 games already? What is this team doing? No, this is actually a joke. I think we need about 995 overalls on this team if we want to see success. Unless we can make a 3-1 series comeback, we're going to be falling in the first round. We have to win one more game here. No, like, outside of Joe and Joey, who are both 99 overalls, I think we need another 9 players who are all 95 overall and above, because without those guys, we're not going to be able to beat the Chicago Blackhawks in 2028. Luckily, Joe NHL is going to be stepping up for us big time. He's going to be picking up the winning goal here, and we're moving on to the second round, making a 3-1 series comeback. But we should have never been down 3-1 in the series. That just shouldn't have been possible. We are too good of a team to be trailing like that. We're moving on to the second round to take on the Colorado Avalanche, hoping we can build on that momentum. Like, we've won 3 straight games. Can we make it 4? Yes, we can. I think we have a bit of a winning streak going here. Can we win 7 straight games? It doesn't look like it, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to start a new winning streak right here. Close out game number 5, and now we're in the conference finals. It looks like the Swift Current Sharks have finally figured it out here. They know what it takes to win, but now we have to get past the Dallas Stars, and we know the Dallas Stars are an elite team. They have a lot of great players, so this is going to be a great matchup right here. We've won the first 2 games, but unfortunately right after that we're going to be dropping the next 2. As long as it's not 3 straight losses, we'll be in a great spot, and we are not in a great spot. We're entering game 6 elimination. Joey, I know you guys are doing your thing here. I know you've been absolutely dominating. When it comes to everyone else on this team, have they been playing their role? Well, Logan Stankoven certainly is. He's picked up 2 goals in the second period. Can he get another one in the third period here? It doesn't look like it, but now we're off to overtime because Mikko Rantanen and Daniel Sprong are scoring goals. Rasmus Anderson did pick up a power play goal. That goal is not going to be enough. Overtime's going to settle this matchup right here, and Mikko Rantanen's going to end it. Ain't no way. I can just tell it's going to be one of those videos. One of those videos where we continue to be the best team in the entire league, win 8 straight President's Trophies, but we're somehow going to find a way to never win a Stanley Cup. I've seen this before. Okay, excuse me, what am I looking at here? Joey NHL, 2 goals, 13 assists for 15 points in 18 games. You're telling me you weren't a point a game, but in saying that, Joe NHL wasn't a point a game either. You were a 99 overall, perfect in every aspect of the game. Joey NHL, you were also a 99 overall, perfect in every aspect of the game. You weren't a point a game, and neither was your twin brother. Y'all are absolute frauds. The only player who I think actually showed up for me is Jesper Wallstedt. 10 wins, 1 shutout, a 902 and a 289. I don't even want to say he showed up because these numbers right here aren't even that great. Did anyone really step up in the big time moments? I mean, I'll give it to Matt Savoy. He was playing second line minutes. I didn't expect too much from him, but he was nearly a point a game guy. Lou Sarainen, 12 points in 18 games. He was playing bottom 6 minutes. He wasn't too bad. Logan Stankoven, you picked up 2 goals from me recently, but you only scored 5 in the entirety of the postseason, so you're not really that great of a sniper. No, this team really let me down. Also, JJ Moser, 3 points in -5. I just gave you the big bucks. What are you doing? Now, the Anaheim Ducks are going to look like absolute idiots after accepting this deal, but I'm going to give you a 5th and 6th round pick, and you're going to give me the 88th overall. For some reason, they think that's a really good deal. I don't know why they would think that, considering we're probably walking away with a medium league potential player. Like, he's not guaranteed to have medium league potential, but there's a good chance he does. Is this guy going to turn out to be a superstar for us? Well, he's starting off as a 71 overall, and we got him in the 3rd round. Yeah, the Ducks are incredibly stupid. Why would you make that deal? We got ourselves a future star player. Now, when it comes to the re-sign phase, we're not going to have enough money for all these guys. Like, we only have $7.7 million to work with. We need to sign 2 defensemen and basically an entire 4th line. I don't know if $7.7 million is going to be enough for that. Now, before we move into free agency and sign any players, we're going to have to make some trades here, because I know for a fact we're not going to be able to re-sign all these guys. Matt Savoy, you're definitely one player I want to keep around here. I think 6.5 for the next 3 years would be a fair deal with you, and that's where we're going to sign you to. Now, when it comes to Zetterlund, I'm assuming he's going to want an absolute bag here. Like, he's going to be looking for a big payday. I don't know if I want to give you 7.2 million. You're an 88 overall, and you're a great player for me, but 7.2 just seems like a little bit much, especially with some of the other contracts that we have to hand out, like Jesper Wallstedt. He's going to want at least 8 million. That's what he's asking for here, and of course, we have to keep him on the team. So just based on how things are working here, I think Zetterlund's going to have to be traded away. Jesper Wallstedt, welcome back to the team. I don't think that leaves us with that much money. Michael Kesselring, we actually might be losing you here. We have 8.5 to work with. I actually don't want to lose Kesselring. 86 overall, we could probably do 5.5 million, and that's what we'll do with him. So that leaves us with $3 million to work with. Zetterlund, I think we're going to have to trade you away. I don't really think we have another choice. Now, it turns out we actually have enough players here, but I will sign a couple guys for the AHL. Lysel's going to be one of them. Really, I'm just willing to take on anyone that has a little bit of trade value. James Malatesta, you're an 80 overall. You actually might be able to play some minutes for me this season. I'll do 900k for the next 2 years. You would actually be a really good fourth line player for me. Now, I'm on the fence about just riding out Zetterlund's contract because I do think we have a chance at winning a Stanley Cup this season, and he'd be a great player for us. However, we could get Oliver Moore for the next 2, and then we can bring in Frank Nazar right now, and I think we would be able to re-sign him. So I think Zetterlund for these 2 guys would actually be worth it. So we're going to make this trade. Now, when it comes to Frank Nazar's extension, I don't know how much money he's going to be looking for, but I'm kind of hoping we can get it done. Because Oliver Moore is locked down for the next 2. Frank Nazar, how much are you looking for? Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but at least we're going to have your RFA rights. Now, we're going to pretend the postseason didn't happen last season. Like, there is no way 299 overalls, perfect in every aspect of the game, weren't at least a point a game. That certainly didn't happen. The defense is still looking amazing here. Goaltending is looking great as well. There is 0 weaknesses. Hugo, I don't know why they always put you as the starter. I don't know if they want you to start the first game of the season or something, but yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. Jesper Wallsted's our man. No, I thought something was very wrong here. Like, how on earth are we second in the entire league with a 43-18-4 record? Then I realized the New York Rangers have played 6 more games than us. That kind of explains it. In reality, we should be the best team in the entire league. Joe NHL is once again leading the way, 81 goals in 65 games. He's got 111 points. Joey NHL has got 102 points, 90 assists, so he's going to crack 100 assists this season. Kuznetsov, 96 points, Luke Hughes, 72, and then we have the rest of the team, like Logan Stankoven's -3, Oliver Moore's -6. We are going to ride with our first line here. We are going to be heavily reliant on our first line, and I don't think that's ever going to change here. Jesper Wallstedt, the numbers are terrible. Definitely not a great sign here. I don't even know what we do with this team. On paper, we have an incredible team, and I don't want to change things up here. We're not making any trades here. We are going to ride with our first line. They have to lead us to a Stanley Cup. All right, I'm going to be completely honest this season. If we don't go on a decent run, we're probably firing our head coach. We're probably going to fire the entire coaching staff, and we're going to change things up because our second line has been so abysmal, it makes no sense. We're second in the entire league. Don't really know how that's possible considering we have 299 overalls, one of them picking up 100 goals this season and 42 assists for 142 points, the other picking up 110 assists along with 14 goals for 124 points, and then Kuznetsov, who we drafted in year number 1, who's picking up 120 points. You're telling me this big 3 right here can't lead us to first in the entire league? Then again, the rest of the team is pretty bad here. Like, they let me down. Nothing else I can really say about it. Jesper Wallstedt let me down. Everyone outside of our first line, Luke Hughes and Rasmus Andersson, let me down. They were all complete and utter frauds until now, because they're all going to step up right now and they're going to help us win a Stanley Cup. Everything is about to change right here. This team's going to go on a historic run. They're finally going to win a Stanley Cup because they have 2 of the greatest players of all time. Right now, things are looking good. We lost game number 3 and we lost game number 4. Why am I not surprised? I shouldn't be surprised. We're going to lose game number 5 as well. We're actually going to lose 4 games in a row here. Okay, whenever I say we win, we lose. And whenever I say we lose, we win. So we're going to lose game number 6 here. Let's see if that actually happens or not. Okay, that logic is not working anymore. We're in game 7. I need you guys to play hockey. That's all I'm asking for here. Just play a little bit of hockey because that's the sport we're playing right now. Winnipeg scoring the first goal of the game. Ain't no way. We really lost this. That's crazy. Joey, I don't even know what to say about you guys, because I can guarantee you, I can't even blame the second line here, or the third line, because it's going to be Joe and Joey who let us down. Our 299 overalls are probably the 2 guys that let us down here. Joe NHL, you had 7 goals in 7 games. I can't complain about that. Joey, you had 8 assists in 7 games. You were pretty solid. It was the rest of the team. It actually wasn't our first line for once. It was the rest of the team. This is crazy. Like, this is utterly ridiculous. Now, in the first round, we're going to be drafting a goaltender here. He's a 58 overall. As a 58 overall, are you really going to be worse than Jesper Wallstedt? Because bro's been an absolute fraud since I brought him to the team. Why did I give him so much money? Like, I just gave him $8 million. I think we're going to try to trade that contract. Because right now, I'm paying him $8 million to put up a goals against of 3. Like, he's doing absolutely nothing for me. I need a little bit of support. I don't know if it's the defense. I don't know if it's the second line. I don't really know what it is here. But yeah, I'm not giving you $8 million to post a goals against of above 3. That's not happening. Also, how on earth did I get a fringe starter potential goaltender, but he's starting off as a 74 overall? In what universe do you have fringe starter potential, but at 17 years old, you're a 74 overall? How does that even work? Like, as a 17-year-old, 37 wins, 8 shouts, a 915, and a 274. If you don't turn into the greatest goaltender of all time, I don't know what you're doing. Now, Jake Neighbors, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to bring you back to the team. You're looking for too much money. Or are you? Okay, I have a plan with Jake Neighbors, and this plan actually makes a lot of sense. Here's $4.8 million for the next 5 seasons. You're going to be sticking around with us. Luce Durain's going to walk. Blake Lazot's going to walk. And I'm going to qualify Frank Nazar as an RFA. There is method in my madness right now. Hugo, I actually don't know if we have enough money to bring you back to the team. Yes, we do. Here's $800K for the next 2 seasons. Oliver Moore, I'm trading you. I don't need you anymore. Okay, Almquist is slowly turning into the greatest player of all time. He's up to an 84 overall. We drafted this man at 88th overall 2 years ago. Do I sign him and play him in our top 6 this season? That's where I was going to play Jake Neighbors. But now that I realize bro's up to an 84 overall, it almost makes sense for him to play in the top 6. So Jake Neighbors, I know I just signed you. We might trade you. So here's the plan. Oliver Moore, I'm going to send you over to the St. Louis Blues. Otto Stenberg in a 4th round pick is going to be acquired. He's under contract for the next 3 years at $2 million. That's an amazing deal. Now when it comes to Frank Nazar, we're just going to go 1-for-1 with the Vegas Golden Knights. Pana Karofsky's going to join the team. He's probably going to end up playing in the AHL for a couple seasons, but I think in 2 or 3 years, he could be a good 4th line centerman for us. Now there's a couple other small signs we're going to do. James Malatesta, I'm re-signing you for $800K for the next 2 seasons. I think you're going to play 4th line minutes for us this season. Kerman, I'm going to do the exact same with you. It's going to be a 2-year deal at $1.2 million. And then I think outside of those deals, we're good to go. So I went ahead and got a brand new coaching staff. Chris Knobloch is our head coach moving forward. I think we should be able to win with 87 overalls on the 3rd line here. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. When it comes to the defense, that's in a really good spot. Like, we have 3 90 overalls and JJ Moses an 89. So he's going to be a 90 overall by the end of the season. So we're going to have 4 90 overalls on the defense. When it comes to goaltending, Jesper Wallstedt, I'm giving you one last chance here. If you post a goals against above 3, you're gone next season. I'm giving you one more chance with a new coaching staff. Let's see what happens. Also, because of the lack of cap space we have, we're not going to be stopping at the trade deadline. The team we have right now is the team we're going to use for the entirety of the season. Now, there's no excuses this season. We won 60 games. We have the best offense, and we're tied for the best defense in the league. I need y'all to show up when it matters. Joe NHL absolutely dominated. 151 points, including 108 goals. Joey had 105 assists, while Kuznetsov's picking up 109 points. These guys were elite for me. The second line was actually better this season. The bottom 6 wasn't terrible, but I need y'all to show up in the most important games here. Jesper Wallstedt, you had a 907 and a 282. I'm not really too sure if that's worth $8 million or not, but we're about to find out. If Jesper Wallstedt wins us a Stanley Cup here, he's going to be sticking around for the rest of the rebuild. If he loses here, he's being traded immediately. Like, I'm not messing around with a goaltender that can't win me games in the postseason. And so far, Wallstedt hasn't been able to. He's traded. I don't care if we win a Stanley Cup this season. He's traded. He allowed 8 goals in game number 1. Like, I can't believe you just did that. In game number 1, you're going to be allowing 8 goals. You did win 4 straight games after that, though. So maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. We'll see how round number 2 goes here. Because, I mean, if we can win 16 straight games and then win a Stanley Cup, maybe I'll hold on to Wallstedt. And we're looking pretty good right now. We have a 3-1 series lead over the Winnipeg Jets. Can we close out in game 5? Yes, we can. We're in the conference finals. Wallstedt, I might have been sleeping on you. I might have sent a little bit too much disrespect your way because you've been showing up for me. Now we have to beat the Edmonton Oilers. They have Connor McDavid. They have Leon Draisaitl. They're going to put some pressure on us. And that's exactly what they're doing. We split the series through 4 games. Game 5 is going to be an important one. And we're dropping game number 5. So we need to win back-to-back games here. Joe, Joey, I need you to carry the way for me. You two guys are the greatest of all time. Joel Eriksson Ek is going to be scoring 34 seconds into the game. There's no way that just happened. Pika is going to be picking up a big-time goal in the second period, though. The third period is going to decide this one, or potentially overtime, but I'd like to just sell this in the third period. I need the big-time players to show up. Atu Ratu. Ain't no way Atu Ratu's ending it. Was that Ratu Raku or Aku Ratu? Because it could have been either or. I actually don't know which one it was. All I know is we're losing in game 6, and Jesper Wallstedt just played his final game with the team. Alright, Joe NHL had 19 goals and 10 assists for 29 points. Kuznetsov had 23 points. Joey had 22 assists for 22 points here. Logan Stankovic wasn't terrible. Matt Savoy wasn't bad. Luke Hughes, Rasmus Anderson, y'all did your things here. When it comes to Jesper Wallstedt's numbers, he played his final games. You did not just post a 306 for me. You're gone. Now here's what we're doing in the re-sign phase. Qualifying 1 RFA. We're going to sign these 2 rookies. That's it. Jesper Wallstedt, I just got to figure out where I'm going to trade you to. I'm probably not even going to trade you for a goaltender. More than likely, you're going to be involved in a 3-team trade. I haven't decided which goaltender we're bringing to the team. Realistically, you have to be on a good contract and you have to be good. That's basically all it is. Also, if you're wondering what happened at the draft, we're just going to pretend it didn't happen. Nope, we're just going to pretend that we had 0 picks, and we definitely didn't go 0 for 8 on our draft picks. Now, extensions might be a little bit difficult here because Luke Hughes is going to need one, and he's not interested in an extension. So you know what that means? He wants a ridiculous amount of money. So Luke Hughes, you're probably going to end up being traded here. Logan Stankovic, how much are you looking for? $10 million. Considering you're supposed to be a second-line sniper for me, and you haven't really been scoring goals, I think I'm going to trade you. Like, you had 17 goals last season, and you're a sniper. Like, you're not scoring, so I don't think I really need you here. So Luke Hughes and Logan Stankovic will be traded away. Jesper Wallstedt, you will also be traded away. There's going to be a lot of changes with this team. Okay, sometimes this game confuses me, and this is a perfect example. So Betts from the San Jose Sharks. Last season, he scored 40 goals and had 50 assists. He's a playmaker, yet he took 300 shots last season, which is probably about top 30 in the NHL. So he was a top 30 shot taker last season. I need someone like that on the second line. I need somebody that's going to take shots. So Matt Savoy, we're going to trade you away. Logan Stankovic will also be traded away, and maybe we just trade him away in this deal right here. Savoy, I'm looking to trade you as well, but I think Logan Stankovic 1-for-1 for Betts is going to be reasonable here. They want a 7th round pick, and I can throw that in the deal. So here's a 7th round pick for 2032. That's going to give us Betts, and now we're going to go trade Matt Savoy away, and we're actually going to end up getting another playmaker on the second line, but it's a playmaker that takes a lot of shots. Now, after looking at what's available, we're actually not going to be trading Matt Savoy because I need a good centerman, and Matt Savoy can play center minutes for me, so he's going to be staying on the second line. All right, we got to get risky because things haven't been working at all for us. Luke Hughes, I'm going to trade you over to the LA Kings. We're going to bring in Reed. He has high elite potential, 22 years old, he's a 79 overall. There is no way you're any worse than Jesper Wallstedt. We're also going to get Edwards in the deal. He's locked down for the next 3 years. He's an 80 overall, he's on his entry-level contract. He was just selected 4th overall. We're going to get Hobbs. He's entering his 2nd season in the league. He's an 81 overall. He can play bottom 6 minutes for me. We're also going to get this young rookie who's a 79 overall who has medium elite potential. We're getting 3 medium elite potential players and a high elite potential player for Luke Hughes. Now we do have to replace Luke Hughes, and I know where we can get a replacement. The Montreal Canadiens. So now we've moved over to the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to bring in David Reinbacher. He's locked down for the next 3 years at $5.5 million. We're going to flip Hobbs along with Jake Neighbors. That should be enough for David Reinbacher. They're saying no. I'll give you as many picks as you want. I feel like 2 third-rounders will probably be enough to get this deal done. Like trade value-wise, I think we're pretty close here. They're saying no. I'll give you a first-rounder. I know you don't really want it, but if it's enough to get this deal done, it's going to be worth it. There we go. We got that deal done in Montreal. Now we got to get rid of Jesper Wallstedt. Now what we're going to do with Jesper Wallstedt is I'm going to send him over to Seattle. We're going to get Nicholas Kakko. He's going to be our backup for the next 2 years at $800K. Berkeley Catton's going to be brought in, and Burgundy, he was just drafted not that long ago. In a couple seasons, he might be able to play some third pairing minutes for me. I just want to get rid of the Jesper Wallstedt contract. Like, bro has not lived up to the hype here. He has not been that guy for us. Here's a 2nd round pick. That should be enough to get this one done. Perfect. Now we got to work on some extensions. Like, the most important extension is going to be Reed. We have to do a 3-year deal with him. That will keep him around for the rest of the rebuild. If we do 2 seasons, though, he only wants $1 million. So do we just do 2 seasons here, and then in his final year, we just kind of figure it out? I think that's the move. So Ryland Reed, here's $1 million for the next 2 seasons. I think that's the smart contract because in the final year, we can just figure out how to clear up some cap space. Hugo, I guess you can be the backup for 1 more season, and Kakko, I'll keep you in the AHL. When it comes to forwards, I don't really think I can give anyone an extension here. Magnuson, I guess I can keep you around, but I want to do a 4-year deal to keep you around for the rest of the rebuild. We're going to do $2.3 million for the next 4. Actually, I'll do 2.4 for the next 4. So that's going to be a really good contract. You're going to play some good bottom 6 minutes for me. Pika, I was expecting you were going to be asking for too much, but I guess not. We can do a 3-year deal at $2.2 million. So that's pretty reasonable with him. Nikitin, I'm assuming you're going to be pretty reasonable as well. 1.9 for the next 3. Yeah, we're getting steal after steal around here. Trent Frederick, I think you're going to walk. And then Ponikarovsky, let's do a 3-year deal with you. I'll do 1.1 million for the next 3. So that's going to keep around the entire bottom 6. We're actually making that 1.2 million. We should be set now. All right, so we made a couple changes to the team. The forward core is looking very different here. The defensive core core looks basically the exact same, except Kesselring is going to play some first pairing minutes alongside Anderson. Reinbacher and JJ Moser are going to hold it down the second pairing. And then when it comes to goaltending, who is this goaltender right here? This isn't the guy I traded for. This guy's up to an 87 overall though. We'll take it. Yeah, that's not the guy I traded for. Where is the player I traded for? Is he on the team? No, he isn't. Is he in the AHL? Yes, he is. And he's a scratch goaltender. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Ryland Reed, you're not even playing minutes for me right now. We got to change that. You got to at least be the backup on this team. Hugo, I'm sorry, but I have to trade you away. So Hugo, I'm going to send you over to the Chicago Blackhawks, and we're going to get a 4th round pick here. We're going to call up Ryland Reed to be our backup. Like, there's no reason bro should be a healthy scratch in the AHL. That's crazy. Yeah, we're going to look at the stats and standings later because we have to absolutely lock in right now. We have the Minnesota Wild in the 1st round. I don't know what the rest of the bracket looks like, but it doesn't matter. We are focused on the Minnesota Wild. Back-to-back shouts is an amazing start. We get 3 in a row. It doesn't look like it, but we're sweeping the Minnesota Wild. The Swift Current Sharks have to win this season. This is one season that we have to win. Joe and Joey were doing their thing this season. Our defense was doing their thing, and our goaltending was doing their thing. Everything about this team was rolling this season. There was no weaknesses, no faults. We were perfect in every aspect of the game. We have a 3-1 series lead on the Dallas Stars. Close this out in game number 5, and we can move on to the conference finals. That's exactly what we're doing. Can the Swift Current Sharks finally win a Stanley Cup here? We have the Anaheim Ducks in the conference finals. Just win me 4 games. All I'm asking for is 4 victories. You're dropping game number 1. You're not doing that to me. We're winning back-to-back-to-back games. That's 3 straight wins. Can we make it 4 straight and move on to the Stanley Cup final? No, we can't. We have to win game number 6 here. Y'all better not blow a 3-1 series lead. Blowing a 3-1 series lead right here would be crazy work for the Sharks. Malatesta's picking up the first goal of the game. Moving into the second, we're taking over. We have a 3-goal lead entering the third. That should be enough here, and it looks like it will be. Anaheim's going to make a late push, but it's not going to be enough. We're in the Stanley Cup final. I'm asking 4 victories over the next 7 games. That's all I need. I don't need this team to go 16-0. I don't need this team to be perfect. I just need 4 victories over the next 7 games. That's all I'm asking for. Like, 4 victories isn't a crazy number. That's just 4 wins in a row, or we win 3 in a row, lose 1, then win again. But give me 4 victories right here in the Stanley Cup final. We have a 3-1 series lead. Do not blow a 3-1 series lead in the Cup final, and we don't have to worry about it. The Swift Current Sharks are finally Stanley Cup champions after finishing with a 65-13-4 record. We won 65 games this season. The team showed up for me. And not only did the team show up, Joe NHL showed up, Joey NHL showed up, the entire team showed up. 114 goals from Joe, 103 assists from Joey. Kuznetsov 92 points, Betts is picking up 90 points here. Elmquist is picking up 67 points, Rasmus Anderson 66, but look at the plus minuses. We finally had good plus minuses here. I never thought I'd see the day. And then when it comes to goaltending, this is who we needed. Juka has been the guy all along. 57 wins, 6 shots, a 916 and a 233. Bro was an absolute dog. And then when the postseason came around, those numbers continued. Joe's picking up 18 goals. Joey's picking up 24 points. He was -1 though. Don't know how that's possible. Betts 23 points was -5. That doesn't really make too much sense. But when it comes to goaltending, Juka was the man. 16 wins, 2 shots, a 909, a 266. And our first season since trading Jesper Wallstedt, we're Stanley Cup champions. And you know what that means? We're running it back with the exact same team here. Who do I have to give extensions to? I know Berkeley Cat needs a deal, but I don't think he's going to be looking for too much money. He wants $2.6 million. How about we do a 3-year deal? 3 years keeps you around for the rest of the rebuild. I'll do $2.9 million, and I'll even give you a modified no trade because I'm that type of guy. So here's 50% team protection. Berkeley Cat is going to be sticking around. Trent Frederick, unfortunately, we're going to be losing you here, but we have replacements in the system. Now, it turns out trading Hugo for that 4th round pick from the Chicago Blackhawks turned out to be an amazing move because we're going to get a mediumly potential goaltender with that pick. Yeah, that certainly worked out for us. So the re-sign phase is going to be very quiet here. We're just going to sign these rookies and that's it. Now, we already know we have the entire team coming back for next season, but when it comes to extensions, this is where things are going to get a little bit questionable. Rasmus Anderson, I'm assuming you're going to be asking for way too much money. $11 million isn't crazy. However, you're 34 years old. You don't really fit the timeline for the rest of the video. When it comes to Kuznetsov, this isn't crazy. $12 million for Kuznetsov is not crazy whatsoever. But you know what? We actually might be cooking here. Could we do $10.5 million with a no movement? Because I'll certainly do $10.5 with a no movement, and that keeps him around for the rest of the rebuild. We actually might be able to do just $10 million for the next 2. So yeah, Kuznetsov, are you willing to accept that deal right there? I think you are. Elmquist, I don't know how much you're going to be looking for, but I feel like you're going to want to bag. 9.2 isn't ridiculous, so we can make it happen. And considering I'm going to keep you around for the rest of the rebuild, I'm just going to give you a no movement as well to get your contract interest up a little bit. So here's 7.5 for the next 6 seasons. That's an incredible deal for us. Matt Savoy, I'm hoping to do the exact same with you. You want 9.5 million, but if we do 8.5 with the no movement, I think that keeps you around for the rest of this video. And it looks like it will be. So Matt Savoy is going to be sticking around. Elmquist is going to be sticking around. And then when it comes to our 87 overall goaltender that absolutely dominated for us, he wants $10 million. I don't think I can do that, so I think we might just have to write out this guy's contract. We just hope he can win us another Stanley Cup, and then we'll have to rely on Reed. When it comes to Kakko, though, I will keep him on this team. $950K for the next 2 seasons. He'll be our backup for the final 2 years. I guess I should also give Kerman an extension here. We'll do 2.8 for the next 2 years. So I think realistically, we're going to have almost everyone signed for the next couple years here. I think cap space wise, we're actually in a really good spot. Otto Stenberg, I'll do 2.3 for the next 3. You might play some bottom 6 minutes this season. You've actually been a healthy scratch the past 2 years. I'm looking to change that though. You know what? Call me crazy. Rasmus Anderson, we're not going to trade you away. We're actually going to keep you for this season because then Kesselring and JJ Moser will be our top defensemen. Then we're going to have Ryan Bacher. Edwards is going to be on his entry level contract for the next 3. He can play some second pairing minutes. We have Pika and Nikitin as well. I don't think we actually have to make any trades. We might be good for the next 3 years besides our goaltender. All right, Elmquist is going to be saying no to the contract I offered him, and that's definitely not what we want to see here. He did say if we gave him a little bit more money, he would change his mind. So hopefully that's going to be the difference here. Like realistically, we should be able to get this done. Like $8 million with a full no movement. Yeah, that maxes out his contract interest. That's what he's going to be signing. $8 million for him is definitely worth it. So we finally saw some success last season. We were finally able to win a Stanley Cup after a lot of tough years, but one Stanley Cup's not enough for me. If this team was able to win last season, then why can't they win again? We have an elite team here still. We still have amazing goaltending. Reed's up to an 86 overall, so he can definitely take over next season. We're in a great spot. Now we have 3 years left in the rebuild. We already know what that means. 3 more Stanley Cups, and with the one we won last season, we're going to complete a four-peat. Now we might not have been able to win 65 games again, but 64 games is just as good. The offense is still flying and the defense is still amazing here. We know what we have to do in order to win a Stanley Cup because we finally won one. We know what the expectations are. We know what it takes to win. So how about we do that? We had 4 100-point scorers. Scoring is certainly not a problem for this team, but one problem that we've had since day number 1, showing up when it matters. Juka, 54 wins, 5 shots, a 914 to 238. Reed wasn't that great this season, so maybe we just got to free up some money to keep Juka on the team. I don't know how much money he's looking for, but if there is a way we can keep him on this team, I think we're going to do that. We're taking on the Minnesota Wild in the first round. We know what we have to do in order to win. Now, if I'm being completely honest here, I think we're going to free up money for Juka. I think we're going to find a way to keep him on the team. He's been an absolute star for us. We dropped game number 1, though. That's not the greatest sign in the world, but Juka's been an absolute stud. We know he's going to bounce back when it matters, and that's exactly what he's doing. 3 straight victories. Can we make it 4 straight and move on to the second round? That would be the best case scenario here. Okay, a 10-0 victory is crazy. A 10-0 victory has given us all the momentum in the world. We've won 4 straight games, and we're about to make it 8 straight. We're going to sweep the Dallas Stars, move into the conference finals. Nobody's going to be able to stop this team. Now that we have our goaltender, nothing's stopping us. We are dropping game number 1 once again, and we're going to be dropping game number 3. So we split the series with the Dallas Stars. Might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself, but we're about to correct the ship here. Back-to-back victories is going to be great for us, and that's not happening. Don't really know what to say anymore. Let's just win game number 6. Let's take it 1 game at a time, 1 period at a time. We'll win game number 6 and then move on to game 7, and then we'll close it up when it matters most. A 6-0 victory is amazing, but we still have to win game 7. If we don't win game 7 here, nothing matters. Without a game 7 victory, nothing we did in this postseason matters at all. Game 7 is the only thing that matters here. We're going to be exchanging goals in the first period. Moving into the second, we're going to be picking up 2 goals to their 1. I need Joe and Joey to show up for me. I need both of these guys to have a big third period in order for us to win this game. And it looks like Joe's going to be showing up for me. I can only assume Joey's picking up an assist. Meanwhile, Pika, he's going to be picking up a goal as well. And we're back in the conference finals. Ever since we got rid of Jesper Wallstedt, this team's found a way to win. We have the Calgary Flames in the conference finals here. All I'm asking for is 4 victories. Give me 4 wins right here so we can move into the Stanley Cup final. We're going to be splitting the series with Dallas. We have to win game number 5 here. We can't afford to drop that one. We're going to win it in overtime. Now we're going to win game 6 and move on to the Stanley Cup final to take on the Buffalo Sabres. I'm very surprised to see Buffalo in the postseason. Yes, we're almost 10 years into the future, but it's still the Buffalo Sabres. Like, at the end of the day, when have the Buffalo Sabres ever figured it out? I guess they have in the year 2032, but maybe not, because we're going to take them down in a sweep. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a sweep here, but it's going to be a nice little 5-game series, and just like that, we're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. We have 2 more years left. That means 2 more Stanley Cups. I'm sorry, but it just cannot be a coincidence. The second we get rid of Jesper Wallstedt, not only is the offense significantly better here, but goaltending is way better, and we've won back-to-back Stanley Cups. Juka, 16 wins, wins, 3 shouts, a 908, and a 260. You've won us back-to-back, and now you need to win me 2 more. I'm going to find a way to keep you on this team. How much money do we have to free up? I need to sign you to at least a 2-year deal. You want $10 million. We're probably going to be looking at about 9 with a no movement. That actually might be possible once the salary cap goes up. We'll need to free up about $2 million, but we can do that. So I think this is the best move we can make here. Kesselring gets traded to Columbus for the 3rd overall pick. We get a medium league potential left winger that can play some big minutes for us. He's an 86 overall. We also get a future 1st round pick in this deal. I don't really care too much about the future 1st round pick, but I need the 3rd overall and I need that medium league potential player. Now by getting rid of Michael Kesselring, it frees up $5.5 million, so Juke is coming back to the team, but we're also going to get a 78 overall medium league potential defenseman, and he could play some big minutes for us. He is only a 78 overall though, so when I say big minutes, I'm talking more about being the 3rd pairing defenseman. So here we go. We have enough money for Juka here. He's going to be signed for $9 million for the next 7 years. That's going to leave us with about $2 million in cap space. And Reed, unfortunately, I don't think $2 million is going to be enough to re-sign you, considering you're up to an 88 overall as well. But we got to go with the guy that's won us back-to-back Stanley Cups. I can't turn my back on him now. Now, when it comes to players we're losing here, it's going to be Rasmus Andersson and Malatesta, unless Malatesta is willing to sign for like $1.5 million, and that's not the case here, so he's going to be leaving. Now, I would like to run the exact same team for the final 2 seasons. However, I know it's not going to be happening. Joey NHL needs an extension here. Of course, we're giving him a full no movement. We're going to be looking at $17.7 million for the next 8 years. So that's about $2.2 million more than what he's getting paid right now. That's perfectly fine. When it comes to Betts and Reinbacher though, I don't know how we're going to be able to afford to keep these guys. Like, Betts wants $14 million. That's certainly not happening. Reinbacher, how much are you looking for? $12.2 million. I don't know if I can make that happen. So I think we're going to have to trade Reinbacher and we're going to have to trade Betts. Ideally, we can trade these guys for about some 85, 86 overall players that are signed to basically their exact same contract, but for 2 seasons, not 1. So what I'm going to do with David Reinbacher is I'm going to send him over to Detroit. We're going to get Sandin Pellikka as well as 2 first-round picks. The first rounders aren't going to be super valuable, but if I want to trade them elsewhere, I can. Now, although Betts is one of the best players on this team, a 91 overall, and he's showing up for me, we're going to get Joe Iginla, who's also been showing up. Like last season, 42 goals and 64 assists. He's a 91 overall as well. He's locked down for the next 4 years, basically the exact same cap hit. I'll give you Betts as well as my 2 first-round picks. They're saying no to that. I'll give you Detroit's first-round picks then. We'll flip these picks over, get Iginla. He's going to be the difference maker for us. He's going to be a really good player at a cheap price, and with this trade right here, I believe we have everyone locked down for the next 2 seasons. Now, Ryland Reed, I thought you were going to be our superstar goaltender, but you know what? Things have changed. We have Juka, and he's been an absolute stud, so we're going to trade you as well as a first-round pick over to Vegas. We're going to bring in Buron. He's on his entry-level contract for the next 2 years. He's like an 86 overall. He can play some good minutes for me. I'll throw in a handful more draft picks because I have more than enough here. I might even throw in a medium-league potential player into this deal just so we can get it done, and I think that's going to be the case. Because you remember that medium-league potential defenseman that we drafted in the first round? We actually don't need Bro anymore. So yeah, how about I offer you this package right here? Is that going to be enough? They're saying no. They just need a 2nd-round pick. So with this 2nd-round pick thrown into the deal, we're officially ready for next season. Okay, this is actually kind of funny because this is all my fault. So Joey NHL has dropped to a 98 overall. Why on earth has he dropped to a 98 overall? Well, every season I'm 5-on-5 focused. And when you're 5-on-5 focused every season, you lose speed. When it comes to rebuilding challenges, who cares what a player's speed is? We care about offensive awareness, defensive awareness, their shooting attributes, and their passing attributes. I don't really care how fast and slow they are because it doesn't affect the simulation, but it does affect their attributes. So Joey NHL, you have 75 speed. That is all my fault. The only reason that man's not a 99 overall is I ruined his speed stat, but that's beside the point. The team's still looking amazing. I don't care if you're fast or slow. You guys produce for me, and we're going to go get another Stanley Cup. We got 2 more years left with the same team. If we were able to win 2 straight Stanley Cups in the past 2 seasons, we're definitely winning 2 more in the final 2. Now, this is the best season yet. We're first in the entire league, a 61-11-4 record, and just think, the team's going to be even better next season because we have a lot of young guys here. 154 points from Joe NHL. He's picking up 111 goals. And then when it comes to Joey, he was doing his thing as well. 110 assists. Who cares if he's not the fastest skater out there? He's going to be still picking up points. Kuznetsov 99. Elmquist is picking up 91. Joe again is going to be picking up 84 here. The team is absolutely flying. Juka, you've been doing your thing. 57 wins, 2 shots, a 905 and a 265. You know what it takes to win a Stanley Cup. So how about you do that for me? We have the Chicago Blackhawks in the first round. No messing around. Let's complete the 3-peat. So we have a 3-peat on the line here. 16 victories in the postseason is what we need in order to complete that. So a loss in game number 1 is not ideal. Or in game number 2 here. We're responding in game 3, but we're down 3-1 the series. Ain't no way. We're trying to complete a three-peat here, and we're down in the series already. So let's start working on that 3-1 series comeback. We need to be elite in every game here, and we've been elite so far in game number 5, and I think we're going to close this one out 7-2. Now a game 5 victory is cool and all, but you know what's better? A game 7 victory. But first we have to win game number 6, so we're moving into that one. Elmquist is picking up the first goal of the game. Moving into the second, we're picking up another 2 goals. We're going to dominate this one 5-0. We're off to game 7. So that's back-to-back big scoring games, like 7 in game number 5, 5 in game number 6. We need to score another 6 goals in game 7 here. This is the most important game. Nothing before this matters. Game 7 is the only thing that matters. We're going to be picking up the first goal of the game, and it's Almquist. Why am I not surprised? This guy's always showing up for us. Moving into the second, we're going to be exchanging goals, Connor Bedard and Kerman. So the third period is going to decide this one. Who's going to step up when it matters most? Philip Tomasino is. But unfortunately, Tomasino doesn't play for our team, so we have overtime to settle this one. We just need to score the next goal, and we'll be moving on. And that's exactly what Joe NHL is going to be doing here. So Joe NHL is going to be saving the day. We're going to be making a 3-1 series comeback against the Chicago Blackhawks. Moving into the second round, we're definitely going to have another tough task. We have the Dallas Stars up next. Now Dallas, they don't mess around. They're a great team, built solid from top to bottom. And because of this, they're going to be putting some pressure on early in the series. They're winning the first 2 games, but we're going to be responding. Back-to-back victories for us. Could we get 3 straight victories and have the lead entering game 6? Yes, we can. It's a 3-2 victory. Let's close out in game 6 and move on to the conference finals. And that's exactly what the team's doing. We're on a 4-game winning streak right now. We're on an absolute heater, and we're going to continue that heater against the Vancouver Canucks. We're halfway through the postseason, so we don't even need 16 wins anymore. We just need 8 more victories. 8 more victories is all I ask for, and right now we have 3 of them. We have a 3-1 series lead, closed out in game number 5. We're back in the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd straight season after getting rid of Jesper Wallstedt. Now all we have to do is win 4 more games. I'm sorry, but if we complete a three-peat the second we get rid of Wallstedt, that's wild. But there's a chance that happens. All we have to do is win 4 more games. We made a 3-1 series comeback in the first round, and now we're going to sweep the Philadelphia Flyers. We just completed the three-peat. No, that man Wallstedt was just bad vibes. Like, I'm sorry, but a three-peat the second we trade that man away, there's no way that just happened. Jesper Wallstedt's been holding us back for a long time. Joe NHL, 16 goals, 20 assists for 36 points. Almquist is going to be picking up 34, 16 goals, 18 assists. Joey NHL, he's picking up 27 assists as well as 3 goals. Kuznetsov was really solid. Joe Ginla was really solid. And the best part about this right here, this entire team's coming back for next season. We're going to run it back with the exact same team, and we're going to get the exact same result. So with all that being said, there's no point stopping over the offseason here. Like, we're going to make 0 moves here. We're just running it back with the exact same team. So we've gone ahead and completed the three-peat, but we have 1 more Stanley Cup to win. 1 more cup, and we've completed a 4-peat to finish off this video. And we've won 4 straight Stanley Cups after getting rid of Jesper Wallstedt. He was holding us back from the very beginning. Juka's our man. Bertram's going to be the backup. We have an elite goaltending tandem, and we're looking for 70 wins. Now it all comes down to this one final season where we're going to finish with a 68-8-6 record, the best season we've seen from the Swift Current Sharks. Joe NHL, 135 points including 100 goals. For this man's career so far, in 10 seasons played, he has 1,001 goals. So he broke the goal record in a 10-year career. He also picked up 1,400 points. Bro is him. When it comes to Joey NHL, he's probably going to have basically almost all assists. He scored 154 goals, not too many, but he had over 1,000 assists. This man was an absolute dog from the very beginning. Matt Savoy, 112 points. Almquist, he's picking up 108. Kuznetsov, 86. Joe Ginla, 84. All of our point-of-game scores, we had 6 of them on this team. And then when it comes to goaltending, Juka, 48 wins, 7 shots, an 898 and a 267. I'm a little bit concerned by the save percentage. You better get that save percentage up moving into the postseason. We're going for Stanley Cup number 4 in a row. We're looking to complete a 4-peat. And to start the 4-peat off, who do we get to play in the first round? The St. Louis Blues. So this could be pretty tough on us. Like the St. Louis Blues, they're going to be an elite team. You always know they're going to be competing here. But can they compete with the Sharks? I don't think so. We have a 3-0 series lead, taking them down 4 games. How about we go 16-0 to finish off this video? 16-0 in the postseason would be the perfect way to end this. And I think that's the plan here. We're moving into the second round. We're going to be taking on the Dallas Stars. Not too sure if we've seen Dallas in this video. I don't believe we've ever taken on the Dallas Stars before. That definitely hasn't happened. Our winning streak's going to come to an end at 5 games, and we're going to split the series with the Dallas Stars, but that's perfectly fine because if the winning streak came to an end at 5 games, that means we're going to win game number 5 here. Then we're going to win game 6 and move on to the conference finals. The Swift Current Sharks cannot be stopped right now. This team just keeps on finding ways to win, and it's because of Joe and Joey. Without those 2 guys, this team wouldn't have seen a fraction of the success. But you know who else has been a big part of this team? Juka. Juka has been an absolute dog for us. us from the very beginning. Without that man, we don't see any of this success. We're in the Stanley Cup final. We're about to go 4 for 4 with this man. Jesper Wallstedt couldn't do anything with the team, but Juka, he's been that guy from the very beginning. He's been finding ways to help us win. We've made to our 4th straight Stanley Cup final, and we're going to close out against the Buffalo Sabres. We're going to be taking another one home here. We've been able to turn the Swift Current Sharks into an absolute dynasty here, sweeping back-to-back rounds. No, you don't see success like that very often. 11-0 to finish out the postseason. You'll love to see it. No, like real talk, Juka was just that man. Joe NHL, 28 goals in 18 games. Okay, safe to say he was pretty good. Joey's picking up 27 points. Matt Savoy's picking up 20. And then when it comes to goaltending numbers, Juka, you were that man. The save percentage and goals against might not have been great, but you went 16-2 in the postseason. I can't ask for more. We actually drafted you ourselves. We got you in the 5th round back in 2025, the 133rd overall pick. I never expected you to turn out to be a superstar, but here you are, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. We won 4 in a row with this man. Nah, he was something different. Like his NHL totals in 84 postseason games, 64 wins, 13 losses, 6 OT loss, 6 shouts, a 903 and a 270. He is the greatest goaltender of all time. Without this man right here, we're not going to see any success. But you know what? There was 2 other guys that were incredibly important for us. That's Joe NHL and Joey NHL, the 2 twin brothers. Over the course of these 10 years, the first 6 we won't talk about, but the final 4 we certainly will, because we were able to cap this video off with a 4-peat.